you gonna do? What you wanna do? We got so many motherfucking things coming on motherfucking way. Hey. Man, I'm just messing around. Peace, peace, and harmony. Flowing with the way of the harmony. So I want to talk about something right quick. Since I just mentioned some synchronicities, actually, I experienced some synchronicity myself. So I just kind of want to touch on, uh, kind of what it means when you see synchronicities. And this one's kind of just about numerology, repeating numbers in trios, that is. So this one, the first one I'm talking about is 444. I actually have another video on this, which is kind of like a first glance, but on this I might go a little bit deeper. So, just going over my notes, it deals with intuition and inner wisdom. It's an indication that you need to trust your intuition and listen to your intuition first and foremost. And you are on your divine path. You are creating your divine path as we speak, as we see, as we live. You know what I mean? And it's also, basically giving you a sense that all is well, as well as, crystal clear vision. Whatever intent you put out, make sure to follow through with action. You know what I mean? Have your yin energy, that imagination, that unseen creative energy, and then that yang energy, that masculine energy, to put that thing into action. Use precise steps, a precise vision board or layout on how you want to manifest that thing. Yeah, it can be little things along the way, or it can be larger things. And it's all about going at your own pace. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to run in with your head down, digging through, and like you're in a 100-meter hurdle, digging through, trying to get to that finish. Or you could take your time. I mean, it all depends on, the moment. Depends on the person too. To each his own. If you choose to do things quick, fast, and in a hurry, do your thing. If you choose to do things a little bit more mellow, slow, like a turtle, there's advantages to that too. It just depends. By all means, do you. And it also indicates, a strong spirit realm connection to your higher self, connection to your totem animals, or whatever you choose to call that manifestation of a teacher, whether it's within a dream, a vision, certain things that you just randomly feel like drawing or creating something in a certain way. If it's in a certain, like if it's already in a certain shape or form, like I mentioned, totem animals, if something continuously resonates with you, that's also an indication of the strong spirit realm connection, that intuitive force within your life. You know what I mean? And it's just like a real push to continue your path, to continue your current path, and have confidence within yourself. Step with confidence, move in confidence, and just know that everything, all is well. Basically, that's really all it is. So that's basically 444. Also, adds up to 12. 12 reduces it down to 3. So it also deals with that 3 energy, that creative energy, walking the paths within yourself, balancing your low and higher natures, having that creative essence. Like I mentioned, that yin energy, that unseen creative energy, that imagination, that vision within, first and foremost, and then follow it up with that yang energy. You know what I mean? And a good way to even practice, or maybe even something to kind of schedule in to strengthen that manifestation, is to actually write things down. Write things down that you're feeling, that you want to create within your life when you see this number. But also pay attention to what you're actually thinking, feeling, or what's going on in that now. So, yes, it can be an indication of these things here, But on the flip, if you're feeling unbalanced, or you're not feeling, you have like a unsteady emotional state, you have something that's off, then it can be an indication that you need to bring balance to your life in some way, shape, or form. And you need to get on pursuing your divine path, your personal legend, your purpose. You know what I mean? So each synchronicity, each totem animal, whatever it be, has, an expansion and contraction, a light and a dark, but it is one whole and the same, as it's a complete teacher. Nothing has one perspective. There's not one side to a coin. There's two, but actually there's three, because if one of it lands in the middle, you know what I mean? You gotta have that balance and be able to have multiple perspectives, most definitely. Because if you draw information or wisdom from one source, it becomes frigid and stale. And once it becomes frigid and stale, what are you supposed to do? You got to step out of your comfort zone and go on a whole new path, view a whole new perspective. That's why it's very beneficial to have multiple. As one multiples, another will multiply within that. If that makes sense. I know that's kind of a little bit off the tracks, but we good. So the next one we'll talk about is, I'm going to talk about 888 real quick, but I also want to mention 777, but since I'm on 888, I'm just going to go with that one. And this deals with very much so self-confidence and kind of unexpected abundance, I guess you could say. So basically, you can be like Charlie Bucket from Willy Wonka. You're walking through the street and find some currency that you just needed to motivate you towards a certain plan or project or venture or whatever. That's not the only way it's going to come through, but that's just kind of like that's just a quick example. You know what I mean? But it very much so deals with self-reliance, manifesting within the moment. So definitely, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking about, manifests very quick. But like I said, each thing has a positive and a negative. So if you're feeling unbalanced, you're definitely going to want to balance yourself back into self-reliance. You know what I mean? But with these ones here, these ones tend to usually come, in my experience, when you are balanced, when you're on the right path. You know what I mean? When you are already feeling and thinking about the things that are in alignment with your divine purpose. You know what I mean? So yeah, so very much so deals with positive abundance, truth and integrity. So being truthful within every expression, whether it's verbally or not, telepathically, body language wise as well. But truth in every little thing, and have integrity in what you know and perceive is true. You know what I mean? Your personal truth. And not overextending, but not underextending either. Having that perfect harmony between the two, to where you can be fully confident within yourself, ourselves, and flow, I guess you could say. It also very much so deals with kind of like cause and effect. Achievements and striving forward. So it's a time to, basically, like I just mentioned in the other one as well, I'm just stepping with confidence, stepping with that whole heart energy, that lightweight energy, not feeling too heavy or guilty or about any little given thing. Stepping with confidence. And with that being said, it doesn't necessarily mean like arrogance or like something like that. It just means if something is in the way, then by all means move through or around without losing that intent or that focus, if that makes sense. You definitely want to strive to your fullest potential. Be optimistic about every situation and know that you have the power to shoot electricity out of your fingertips, shoot fire out of your eyes, whatever. It can be the wildest thing. Just know that, even like knowing, like, okay, I can snap my fingers twice on each hand, spin around 3 times, and money will just fall from the sky in my hands. Like, whatever. It can be ridiculous. Just gotta have trust and just know that you're fully supported within how you're gonna go about things. You know what I mean? And like I said, it very much so deals with abundance. Blessings are on the way, even if you can't or haven't foreseen them in the moment. But with that being said, everything starts within the now. So depending on how strong your intuition is and how in tune you are with your inner self, you'll be able to perceive these things a lot quicker, a lot easier in the now. So I mean, it can be like the quick as a turn of your head into looking into another perspective, another dimension, or within the hour, the day, whatever. Very, very much so deals with abundance on the way. And abundance meaning all forms. It doesn't just apply to currency or aka money. It can be a person, a thing, which will be currency, or even like a place. Like you manifest something or create something within your life that you've been working towards, but you didn't necessarily see it at that moment, but it just happened to come. You know what I mean? And also, it's important to never compromise integrity. Always honor truths. This is actually, going off these notes is actually a very good thing for me, because I have actually not looked into this one for a while. So it's very, very beneficial for me as well to look into these things. And like I said, as I do these videos, like I know what each one represents based on like the numerology, the numbers, the sequences between each one, just from my research and experiences and things like that. But it's always nice to refresh. So by all means, if you take notes, maybe every now and then go back and look through your notes, and you might find something that you wrote down that you maybe not necessarily forgot about, but just kind of overlooked. But it was the perfect thing within the moment. Because as for me, like as I saw the synchronicity, as I experienced the synchronicity, I knew it had to do with abundance. Abundance is on its way, but I kind of overlooked the thing of confidence to a certain extent. Like I knew it was going to deal with the energy in a way, but this one more so deals with a different type of confidence, like that integrity and confidence in full form. You know what I mean? My bad. I'm like almost burping because I just had some vegetable type pizza. not that that's really important to the video, but kind of a little bit distracted with that. Nah, but we good. Yeah, and that's basically those synchronicities of. Oh, let me do this real quick. So it adds up to 24, and 24 reduces to 6. So 6 deals with personal trust. And again, self-reliance, most definitely self-reliance. And also kind of like a balance between the spiritual and physical world. Balance between your natures, as well as dealing with like that inner knowing and almost like an artistic expression. Being able to be a little bit far out with certain ideas in the right place, right, in the right space and time. You know what I mean? So yes, it very much so does with that. But self-reliance is one thing is really jumping out right now. Self-reliance, definitely, abundance is on its way, and just stepping with confidence, confidence within your truth and integrity, and never compromising. That's very powerful, and this is very beneficial to look into once again for me as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm learning every day as I'm trying to, not trying, but as I'm helping to heal and teach every day too. To people who choose to listen. That's the thing too. Like, whether or not we have somebody that's necessarily a student, we got to remember that we are students as well as we do this this inner work, this shadow work, this this research on external things as far as within the environment, books, crystals, whatever it be. We are students in that game, and we don't necessarily need a student right here, right now, to be a teacher, or to be a healer. We are these things naturally, and it's infinitely within us, and that's why we are encouraged to express these things. You know what I mean? That being said, too, like your students, I don't remember exactly. Like, I remember a Bobby Hemmett video a while back that I watched. I haven't checked it out for a while, but I remember he said that, and it very much so applies because I've experienced it within my life. Your students will manifest, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right here in this place and time. The more you put your intent into this work, into your craft, into whatever it is, your students will be attracted. You know what I mean? I don't remember the exact words, but it was something along those lines. Not to be all confusing with the information, but maybe I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, that's basically it. I guess I can talk about 777 real quick, so let me go back. Because this is actually like a longer one. I'm not going to go, I don't know if I'm going to read all this, because some of these notes are a little bit older, and the way I wrote them kind of don't make sense. Or they're hard to read, that is. Not that it's like sloppy, but it's just the way it's written is like, it's not really good to like read on camera when it's like that, because it's like basically I don't exactly write like normal people. Normal people write from left to right, all straight. I write right to left, left to right, diagonal, backwards, all types of ways. That makes me think of that Willy Wonka thing too. It goes up, down, side to side, diagonal, slant, whatever the fuck he says on that, with that little whatever it's called, the elevator. Man, that was a funny movie for real. But yeah, enough joking around. So 777 deals with the collective consciousness, spiritual enlightenment, and very much so, like I was just mentioning, kind of being spreading wisdom, being a teacher, being a healer in some way, shape, or form, as well as expressing that inner knowledge, that connection with your inner being, and thoughtfulness towards yourself and others. You know what I mean? And expressing your best self in the now, expressing these intentions, yes, with kindness, but also with rawness too. So you can't necessarily hold back and be nice when it doesn't make sense. You can't be nice to someone that doesn't have the same mutual respect. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned in many other videos, respect is the parallel of communication. You know what I mean? Both telepathically, verbally, body language wise, yada yada, all these things. You can't respect somebody that doesn't respect you. If you are trying to pretend. A pretender can only pretend for so long. So by all means, just don't pretend. And if you feel like something's off, you feel like somebody's trying to pretend, you feel like somebody's trying to scheme or be sneaky or weasel-like, hidden with things like that, by all means, just flush it away. Don't even need that BS in your life. You know what I mean? But yeah, enough with that. Definitely. Basically, it's almost like a divine. It very much so is dealing with the divine connection, and reaping the rewards, sharing knowledge and enlightenment. So this is a very good one. Like if you are with somebody else, seeing these synchronicities. And to speak on this real quick, I had an experience where I was kicking it with a female, and we actually saw this synchronicity while we were just vibing together, as well as I had seen it on my personal time, just being me, having my lone wolf vibes. And I think she mentioned a similar thing as well. So it's crazy when these things. It's beautifully crazy when these things are like this, because it just shows that we are connecting with the same beings, or not the same beings, but similar beings that are going along their path as well. They have something to teach you as you have something to teach them. You know what I mean? And that's really what it's about. The equal exchange. You know what I mean? That's very important too, to have these beings, these things in your life. You have that the equal exchange, the equal opportunity of energies. You know what I mean? The sacred energy exchange. Whether it's through a vibration, a frequency on an energetic level, or even on a physical level. It applies to many different things. This also very much so deals with, empathy. Basically, just being able to feel and sense things, whether they're displayed through a person's sun or not. Meaning, like whether they're showing it through their actions, through their words, to the things they're displaying. So basically, if you're picking up on a vibration, it's important at times to speak about these things. But then again, there is kind of like a so-called perfect timing. You know what I mean? Like I know this is something that I've been trying to grow along my path with, is speaking up more when I sense these vibes. Yeah, maybe at certain times, like even when I had seen this synchronicity, I felt certain things, but I chose not to speak on it. But by all means, I've been getting better about these things. I mean, like I said, like there's definitely a so-called perfect timing to express certain things. And it's to each his own how you're gonna do it. And but with that being said, it's not like you're repressing or neglecting these things, but you got to have a certain understanding, overstanding, and understanding of yourself in that present moment, as well as the other person, the other being's emotional state and awareness. You know what I mean? This also deals very much so with manifesting. So very much so, like I mentioned with 888, but in this it's a little bit in a different way, I guess you could say, because it's more so in the space and time when you, like a certain thing is going to come about, a certain type of abundance, whether it's a person, place, or thing, within that moment, within yourself first and foremost, whether you are alone or with somebody you vibe with. It can be basically just like a new perspective or enhanced intuitive insight, or even like a feeling of elevated joy or happiness, when necessarily those energies weren't display a hand. You know, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain that one, but I guess I'll just leave it at that. It's also a clear indication of spiritually evolving. So basically, it's like uh, that caterpillar that comes out of its cocoon to become that butterfly. You know, you're getting the necessary uh, nutrition or energy, so to speak, to flourish. You know what I mean? Also, it's important to embrace your uniqueness and express it as you see fit. You know, kind of tying into what I was saying with that perfect timing. Whether it's like you gotta kind of play it by ear, kind of know when it's the right timing, but also not be fearful or scared to display something, even if it shakes things up within the group, within the situation. You know what I mean? Basically, it's also dealing with talents and traits, bringing love uh, to these things, as well as utilizing your talents and strengths and abilities and different traits that you just are naturally that you naturally just bring to the table, and displaying that first and foremost with confidence, with action based energy as well. I mean, it's not all about action, but there's definitely a time to do so, most definitely. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it for that. I mean, I got a lot more notes, but it's kind of along the same lines, and like it ties into the other synchronicities as well. Just kind of dealing with, your divine guidance, your personal path, your basically you're just really in tune with your highest purpose, your inner being. You're really in tune. So by all means, express these things. As this number does deal with the number 3 once again, as the 3 sevens add up to 21. 21 reduces to 3. And that's kind of crazy. Like the other one was 12, went to 3, and this is 21 that goes to 3. So yeah, by all means, it deals with that number 3. That creative energy, that expression, being able to express things, having that balance between your lower and higher natures, and walking your paths. That the two sides of the coin, walking that narrow road within that coin. Having multiple perspectives, knowing when and where to speak up, and how you should speak about it, but also not being scared to shake things up if need be. You gotta be truthful. You gotta be raw. You gotta be authentic. You gotta be you. You know what I mean? Your higher self, your shadow self. Be your whole self, most definitely. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it there. So peace, harmony. Hope everybody doing their thing, staying in tune, living and loving life from that what? I can't hear you. That high heart frequency. And be able to travel through all the energy pools, right? Just be your authentic self. Keep it raw. Peace.